Good afternoon. Hi, Rosa.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm very well. I'm very well. I wanted to take this opportunity today to introduce you as a member of the Stroud community and talk about Allsorts as a charity that you actually head the development of. So welcome. It's good to speak to you this afternoon.
Thank you, good to be here.
Tell me, Rosa, if people were to ask about Allsorts as a charity, and what you do to support families in the Five Valleys, how would you tell them about the charity?
Well, we do a lot, as the name suggests on the tin, but primarily we are a charity for families who have children with additional needs. So in a normal week, we would provide hundreds of hours of activities for young people with additional needs, from youth clubs to toddler groups to a whole range of different sports and lots more. But we also have kind of a holistic approach to support, and we sort of look into supporting the whole family, the parents, carers, siblings and grandparents too. So it's kind of that whole package, if you like.
So it's very varied, isn't it?
Very varied, yeah.
Yeah. So it involves the children, it involves the families overall.
Yeah, so it's all about bringing people together. A lot of these families feel quite isolated due to kind of location or social circumstance, and so we bring them together to help them forge friendships, help them try new things, create different opportunities for them to get involved with when
Fantastic.
they can't do that in a mainstream environment.
I think that's fantastic that you achieve that. And I think what's important for the people that don't know, whereabouts are you based in Stroud, and the facilities that you have there, what are they?
Well, up until 2 years ago, we ran everything out in the community, so using lots of different venues, and we still do that to some extent, but we were very aware of needing our own venue to house our toy library with thousands of pieces of toys and equipment, and to have a hub where people can come and we could run a certain amount of activities there, and that's where our office is. So if anyone who knows the Brunel Mall, that's where we are, right at the top. Unfortunately closed at the moment, obviously, but yeah, that's where we are, right in the
But
centre of
in a normal way of life, rather than where we are right now, it sits in the heart of Stroud, doesn't it, really, with parking very, very close to it.
exactly. And we when we were looking for a venue, we went through about probably 20 to 30 different properties. Nightmare client from a estate agent's point of view, but we needed that central place with good parking,
Yes.
good facilities for wheelchair users, and we actually installed Stroud's only changing places toilet as well, so anybody with a disability that needs a toilet and hoist facilities can come and use that whenever they need to.
That is brilliant, isn't it? And a lot of people probably don't actually know that.
No, unless I guess you kind of need to use that facility, then it's actually off a lot of people's radars. Yeah.
Yes. Tell me, obviously, at this time, for you heading up the development and being in the situation we're in right now, which impacts on so many people, what are you finding are your biggest challenges?
The biggest challenge, well, it has been income generation. Obviously, lots of our income streams have been cut or stopped for a variety of reasons, as you can imagine. But we've had a huge amount of support over the last couple of weeks. I mean, we're really grateful to our families and supporters and grant funders as well, who've released emergency funding. So whilst that is still a concern, I guess it's the entering the unknown. A lot of our families, even if lockdown is lifted before September, they have really vulnerable children that they need to protect and shield, so they're unlikely to come out of isolation for a very long time. So
Yes.
it's how we can support them best with
through.
limited resources, and sort of being able to plan for that. But we're in touch with them all the time, constantly sort of sending them out surveys to fill in and things like that, just so we know where they're at, you know.
Yes, and how they're feeling and what they're going through individually.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the support is always there, Rosa.
It's always there, yeah. We
Good,
won't go
good.
away.
Can I ask you, what are you still able to offer families at the moment through this situation that we're in right now?
Well, things are developing all the time, but primarily we've got our support for parents and carers, which is obviously key at the moment, and we're doing that, you know, through Zoom coffee and catch-up calls, one-to-one phone calls, just picking up the phone and, you know, asking how people are. And we've got a closed Facebook community group which we've started, and that's, you know, there's a lot of chat in there where families can connect with each other as well as us.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And bounce off one another.
Absolutely. And, you know, a lot
Yeah.
of the time that's, you know, we just facilitate, we get people together. People are often in different stages of a journey, and they can offer advice and sometimes
Support.
yeah, exactly, knowing somebody else who's going through a similar situation is there. So that's been pretty good. And also a lot of digital fitness. So our sports
Aha.
program is very well attended usually. So we've kind of replaced that with online activities, a lot of personal training, and sort of group classes, which we've just started to develop, and they're evolving really well. And also, surprisingly, we did a bit of school sport before, and that's actually continued because obviously schools are still open, and
Yes.
the need for
Yeah.
inclusive PE, which is what we specialise in, you know, is even greater than ever.
I bet the children have really enjoyed that.
Really, really enjoyed it. And, you know, the teachers as well, to have that support, you know, when they've got
Yes.
a mixed class of mixed ages and abilities, where we can come
Yeah.
in and help with that, you know, it's been
So it's very varied, isn't it? It's fair to say what you offer.
very varied, and
Very.
it's not something you can sort of describe in a nutshell, but we try.
No. I have a question for you. What can Perry Bishop and the wider community of Stroud and the Five Valleys do to help at this time?
Well, people can help in a variety of ways. One easy thing to do is just kind of like us on social media and share our news and updates. Because although, you know, a lot of people locally know who we are, there's still many that don't. And actually just raising our profile and what we're doing now to help people can be hugely beneficial.
Yes.
Obviously we're still looking for donations, so anybody that, you know, feels inclined to donate would be able to do that through our website, or they can get involved with any of our fundraising initiatives. So
Brilliant.
there's always something on the go. We've had balloon races, we've just done the 2.6 challenge, which you guys took part in.
Yes.
We've got a quiz on the horizon, so all of that's announced on our social media. So it's just kind of keeping.
Well, that was one of my questions, is what can people do in the way of donating to Allsorts, and how is the best way of them doing that? How would you like them to approach you? Any small amount, every penny counts right now for you as a charity.
It sounds cliche, but, you know, a little goes a long way at the moment. So, you know, £5, £10, you know, we'd be really grateful for any donation, and that can be done through the website, which is www.allsortsgloucestershire.org.uk. You just click the donate button, and it's really quick and easy to do. If people would prefer to make a direct donation, then they could just email info@allsortsgloucestershire.org.uk, and we can arrange for that to happen.
Brilliant. I think that's fantastic. And I think for us as a local estate agent in the area, in Stroud, and we support you as a charity, and I've seen your work firsthand. I've been to your offices, and I've seen what you offer for the children and the families. And
played with all the toys.
I did, and I was fascinated, and I felt that the moment I personally walked in and saw the area where the families can go, you felt calmness the moment you were in there, and it's just such a great environment. And I know that's something that they can't enjoy at the moment, but the support that you're giving to families in the community at the moment, and yourself as well as other colleagues, you know, you're juggling with your own families as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't had a little toddler join us. That's normally what happens. Yeah, so it's as tricky as it is, you know, we're all learning to cope and adapt to our current environments. And we just want to bring a little bit of Allsorts into everybody's homes. And I hope that we're doing that.
I'd like to think that we will do all we can to support you and to let many people know and be aware of what Allsorts does and how you benefit so many families. And the more people we can make aware, and this will be going on our Facebook page, it will be going on our website, the more we can do. I've got one last question for you. Do you have any planned events? You mentioned about quizzes and other bits and pieces that you've got going on, and I know that you had an itinerary for the year, but of course we're in lockdown at the moment and we're not sure when we're coming out of that. What else is there for us to get excited about or possibly to get involved in, Rosa?
Well, right now, sort of bubbling away behind the scenes, yeah, potentially a quiz or virtual bingo. We're thinking potentially a karaoke night or something like that.
Brilliant.
Sort of feeling a bit inspired from the Amarillo video. And, you know, possibly some other challenge orientated thing in about a month's time. And then hopefully after lockdown we can carry on with some of the events that we had scheduled. We've got, you know, potentially an abseil in September, so we're really hoping that that's going to go ahead.
Yeah, we're kind of hoping too. I'm not sure all my team are hoping, because I have said that I've put my name forward to be involved in that. And I'm sure some of the team in Stroud will probably want to get involved. I think the more that we can do, and you say it's a cliche, and I think it is fair to say, charities always need as much help as they can get, but you're very much about the local community and there's a lot of involvement locally. This is about making awareness, but at a time when a small charity, every penny helps, and anything people can do in the way of support will be appreciated in such a great way. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. You know, we've got 375 families that we're helping at the moment, which equates to about 1,500 people. So you know, if you look at it like that, you know that if you donate, that you're helping not only local families, but helping a community venue stay alive, which is just going to be so important when sort of life returns back to normal, that something like that is there for people to basically somewhere they feel safe.
Yes.
And they can meet others and carry on with things that they were doing before this happened.
Well, can I take this opportunity to thank you for what you are doing? And we will do everything we can to support you. And I wish you all the best and your families through this difficult time. And you have our complete support at Perry Bishop. And thank you again for your time this afternoon.
Absolutely amazing. We really appreciate your support, and we can't wait for the next music video.
Yeah, something's coming, I'm sure. We'll have something bubbling. Thank you, Rosa.
Thank you,
take care. Bye.
Bye. Take care.